Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed, like you're always one step behind peace? What would it mean for you to finally feel calm on the inside, even when life refuses to slow down? In today's fast-moving world, where there's always something demanding our attention, endless noise, constant pressure, and unexpected changes, staying calm has become something rare and valuable. Many people feel overwhelmed, always rushing, always trying to keep up. But the teachings of Buddhism remind us of something powerful. Peace doesn't come from outside us. It grows inside, quietly and steadily. Inner calm isn't about running away from problems or avoiding life. It's about learning how to stay balanced and steady, even when life is full of chaos. It's about creating a mind so strong and grounded that nothing can knock it over, no matter what's happening around us. Buddhist wisdom has been shared for centuries, helping people find stillness even in the most difficult times. These lessons aren't complicated or out of reach. They're simple, clear, and deeply helpful if we take the time to understand and practice them. In this video, I'll walk you through 10 powerful lessons from Buddhism, lessons that can help you stay centered and peaceful through all of life's ups and downs. These principles can guide you to a calmer mind and a more peaceful heart. Let's begin this inward journey together, step by step, moment by moment, toward a deeper kind of peace that stays with us, no matter what life brings. 1. Respond with care, not with impulse. Life will challenge you in many ways. People might annoy or upset you. Difficult situations will appear. Strong emotions can rise quickly and take over, but between what happens and how you respond, there is a powerful moment of stillness. In that moment, you have a choice. The Buddha once said, "Learn to stay calm when people praise or blame you." When someone criticizes you or tries to provoke you, don't react right away. Pause. Take a deep breath. Notice how the emotion grows, then fades. That small pause is where your power lives. It gives you the space to choose peace over anger and thoughtfulness over quick reactions. You don't have to give your energy to every problem or person. Each time you stay calm instead of reacting, you grow stronger inside. Like building a wall brick by brick, you create inner peace and emotional strength that lasts. 2. Nothing stays the same forever. Take a moment to look at life around you. Everything is always changing. Friendships shift, jobs come and go, good times pass, and hard times eventually fade. Even our own bodies aren't the same from one year to the next. Some days we feel strong, and other days we feel tired or in pain. But none of it lasts forever. When we're hurting, it often feels like the pain will never end. But if we take a step back and really notice, we'll see that pain rises, stays for a while, then fades. The same is true for happiness, excitement, success, and disappointment. Every feeling, every experience comes and goes like waves in the ocean. Daniel experienced this when he lost his job. At first, he was crushed. He felt like his world was falling apart. Each day was heavy, and he thought the sadness would never go away. But with time, things began to shift. He started spending more time with his family, explored new interests, and slowly found a different path. One day he realized the deep sadness had passed. It hadn't stayed forever, and neither did the fear. The Buddha taught that everything in life is temporary. When we truly understand this, we stop holding so tightly to what we enjoy and stop being so afraid of what we don't. We begin to ride the waves of life instead of fighting them. We become more flexible, more open, and in that gentle acceptance, a quiet kind of peace begins to grow. Change doesn't have to scare us. It can teach us to live more fully, to appreciate the good while it's here, and to stay hopeful during the hard times. Everything passes, and in that truth, we can find calm. 3. The root of suffering. Much of our inner struggle begins when we constantly wish for things to be different. We tell ourselves, "I'll be happy when I have more money, more love, more control." This endless wanting creates tension in our minds and hearts. We're always chasing something: better results, more approval, a different situation. And when reality doesn't match our hopes, we feel upset, frustrated, or empty. Take John, for example. He works hard at his job and recently hoped for a promotion. He imagined the raise, the respect, and the feeling of success. But when someone else was chosen instead, John felt angry and defeated. For days, he couldn't focus. He kept thinking, "It should have been me." But then, after some quiet reflection, he realized how much peace he had lost by clinging to that one desire. When he started to let go of that need to control the outcome, he felt lighter. He could appreciate his work again, and his mind became calmer. What if we stopped holding on so tightly like John did? What if we could be okay with what we already have? If we could ease up on that strong grip of wanting, we might find something surprising: peace. When we stop always reaching for more, our minds begin to settle. That feeling of never having enough slowly fades. True freedom isn't about getting everything we desire. It's about being at ease, even when we don't. The Buddha shared that letting go of craving is one of the most important steps toward peace. When we stop needing life to go our way all the time, we find room to breathe. And in that space, contentment grows. 4. Practice mindfulness. Real peace isn't found in memories of the past or dreams of the future. It lives right here, in this very moment. But many of us spend our days stuck in thought, looking back with regret or looking ahead with fear. Our minds race from one worry to another, rarely stopping to rest in the now. Mindfulness is the gentle art of bringing your attention back to where you are, right now. It means noticing the small things, the breath going in and out, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the warmth of sunlight, the sound of a bird. These details may seem unimportant, but they are doorways to peace. Let's return to John. After a long day of work, his mind was spinning. He was thinking about a mistake he made during a meeting, and also worrying about a project due next week. He felt tense and distracted. But instead of continuing to spiral, John paused. He took a slow, deep breath, walked outside for a few minutes, and simply listened to the wind in the trees. For that short time, his thoughts quieted. He felt grounded again, not because his problems were gone, but because he had come back to the present. That's the power of mindfulness. It doesn't erase life's challenges, but it gives you space to breathe. It helps you step back and see your thoughts and feelings instead of being trapped inside them. When you observe your mind instead of getting pulled into every thought, a soft calmness begins to grow. Mindfulness isn't something you need to master overnight. It's a daily practice, a gentle return to now, and each time you return, peace meets you there. 5. Practice non-attachment. Holding on too tightly, whether to people, things, or outcomes, can create pain. It's like gripping a rope with all your strength. The harder you hold, the more it hurts. Sometimes we mix up deep love or commitment with attachment, but they're not the same. True love doesn't mean needing to control or possess. Real freedom comes when we can care deeply without trying to keep everything exactly the way we want. Imagine holding a butterfly in your hand. If you squeeze too hard, you hurt it. But if you open your palm and hold it gently, it may stay. This is the heart of non-attachment. David learned this the hard way. He had been in a relationship for a few years, and when it ended, he was devastated. He kept going over every detail, trying to figure out what went wrong, and wishing things were like before. For weeks, he couldn't move forward, but slowly, he began to understand that holding on so tightly was only hurting him more. He didn't need to forget the person or stop caring. Instead, he learned to let go with kindness. He started focusing on his own well-being, and peace returned to his life. Not because he stopped loving, but because he stopped clinging. Non-attachment doesn't mean we stop feeling. It means we stop holding things so tightly that we lose ourselves when they change or go away. It teaches us how to love fully while staying centered. It's not about turning cold or walking away. It's about releasing the fear that makes us grip. This gentle letting go brings lightness to the heart. It creates space for peace to grow. When we stop holding on out of fear, we find a kind of calm that stays with us, no matter what changes come. 6. Embrace silence. Sometimes the world feels loud, full of voices, messages, and endless things to do. But when everything around us is busy, silence becomes even more powerful. In quiet, we finally hear something we often ignore: our own heart. Stepping away from noise doesn't mean we're avoiding life. It means we're making space to connect with who we really are. The Buddha and his followers would often spend time in quiet places, not to escape, but to grow stronger inside. You don't need to travel to a forest or a mountaintop. Even a few minutes of stillness in your day can be enough. Samuel discovered this during a stressful time at work. Meetings, emails, and noise filled every hour. He felt overwhelmed and disconnected. One morning, instead of jumping into his usual routine, he sat quietly on his balcony. No phone, no music, just the soft sound of birds and his own breath. At first, it felt strange, but later something shifted. He began to feel calmer, more centered. That short daily silence became his way of resetting, of remembering what truly mattered. Silence doesn't mean emptiness. It's actually full of peace, awareness, and truth. It gives your mind room to slow down and your heart space to open. In stillness, we often find answers we were too busy to hear before. So give yourself permission to pause. Turn off the noise when you can. Sit with your breath, your thoughts, your presence. In those quiet moments, you might just find the calm you've been searching for all along. 7. Let go of your ego to find peace. The ego is that little voice inside us that always wants to win, be right, or stay in control. It says things like, "I need to be better than them," or "everyone must see how important I am." But chasing this image of ourselves only leads to stress, arguments, and exhaustion. The more we try to protect our pride, the more pressure we feel. But when we let go of the need to prove ourselves, something surprising happens. We feel lighter. We realize we're more than our job, our opinions, or how others see us. We don't have to fight to be somebody. We already are. Take Olivia, for example. She used to feel frustrated whenever someone disagreed with her during family conversations. Even small things, like how to cook a dish or plan a trip, turned into arguments because she felt the need to be right. One day, she decided to simply let others have their say. She didn't interrupt, didn't correct anyone. She smiled, listened, and let go. And something changed. The discussion flowed more easily, and Olivia felt calm instead of tense. Her relationship started to feel warmer, more open. This is what happens when we let the ego step aside. We make room for understanding, for connection. We no longer need to win every battle or prove our worth. And in that space, peace naturally begins to grow. Letting go of ego doesn't take anything away from you. It gives you back your balance, your ease, your heart. 8. Learn to accept what's beyond your control. A lot of our pain comes from trying to fight what we cannot change. We want things to go our way, and when they don't, we push back, get angry, or feel helpless. But life doesn't always follow our plans. We can't control how others act, what happens in the world, or the surprises that come our way. What we can control is how we respond. Our thoughts, our choices, our attitude. That's where our power lies. Acceptance doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we stop exhausting ourselves over things we can't fix. Instead of standing stiff and snapping under pressure, we can learn to bend, like a tree that sways in strong winds but still stays rooted. Mia experienced this when her company suddenly announced layoffs. Though she wasn't fired, 2 of her closest colleagues were. She felt anxious and upset, worried about what might happen next. For days, she couldn't focus. But eventually, Mia realized that no amount of worry would change the situation. So she focused on what she could do. She supported her friends, stayed present at work, and took care of herself. Letting go of the panic didn't mean she liked what happened. It just meant she stopped fighting with the reality of it. When we stop struggling against the things we can't control, we find peace waiting quietly in the background. We become stronger not by resisting life, but by flowing with it. Acceptance is not weakness. It's a quiet kind of strength. It helps us stay steady when the world shakes. And it frees our energy for what truly matters: how we live, how we love, and how we grow. 9. Choose kindness instead of judgment. When we judge others, our minds become noisy and unsettled. We start to compare, blame, and separate ourselves from those around us. This constant criticism, even if silent, builds tension inside us. It may feel like we're gaining control or clarity, but in truth, we're just feeding our own discomfort. Compassion does the opposite. It softens the edges of our thoughts and brings a gentle calm. It reminds us that behind every harsh word or unkind action, there's usually pain, fear, or confusion. Seeing that doesn't mean we approve of bad behavior. It means we stop carrying the weight of anger ourselves. Emma experienced this at her local grocery store. One day, a cashier was short with her, barely making eye contact, and speaking in a cold tone. At first, Emma felt insulted and wanted to snap back. But then she paused and reminded herself, this person might be having a really hard day. Instead of reacting with irritation, she offered a warm smile and a simple, sincere thank you. The cashier looked surprised and softened for a moment. Emma walked away feeling lighter, not heavier. That's the quiet power of compassion. It turns your energy inward where it can heal you, rather than letting it spill outward in frustration. It invites peace, not only for the other person, but for you. The more we understand others, the less we need to fight them. Every time you choose patience over reaction, empathy over blame, you build a calmer world inside yourself. Compassion isn't a weakness. It's a quiet strength that protects your peace while keeping your heart open. 10. Find peace by practicing gratitude. Gratitude is like a soft rain that falls on the dry ground of our worries. It gently soaks into our hearts, helping calm the thoughts that say, I need more, or I'm not there yet. When we only notice what's missing, we feel unsettled and always chasing something. But when we take a moment to notice what's already here, our breath, our home, a kind word, we begin to slow down and feel more grounded. Gratitude shifts our attention. Instead of rushing toward the next goal, we pause and recognize what's already good. It doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means finding small reasons to smile, even in the middle of challenge. Leo had a busy life with long work hours and little time for himself. He often felt overwhelmed and stressed, always thinking about what still needed to be done. One day, a friend suggested he try writing down one thing he was grateful for each morning. At first, Leo thought it wouldn't help, but he gave it a try. He started by appreciating simple things: a warm cup of coffee, the sound of birds outside his window, a supportive message from a co-worker. Slowly, these small moments began to bring him comfort and calm during his hectic days. Gratitude doesn't fix everything, but it changes how we carry what life gives us. It reminds us that even on hard days, there's still something steady beneath the noise. A thankful heart whispers, "This moment is enough. I am enough." And from that quiet place, peace begins to grow, not from the outside, but from within. When you live by these ideas, you become like a still, deep lake, calm on the surface, steady beneath. Life will keep changing, storms will come and go, but your inner peace, like a mountain rising above the clouds, can remain grounded and strong. If these words brought you a moment of calm, I invite you to subscribe and keep learning with me. There's so much more to explore, and each lesson brings us closer to a quieter, steadier way of being. Real strength doesn't come from escaping life's challenges. It comes from meeting them with calm, clarity, and compassion. Together, we can keep growing that peace within, one breath, one moment at a time. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care of your heart, stay present, and remember, the calm you seek is already within you, waiting, steady, and always ready to guide you home.